Sharpe, leave that white
I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
Are you trying to say what you trying to say?
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mom.
Welcome to New Viral Drama, where Hollywood's glossy mask gets ripped clean off and every scandal hits the screen with no mercy. Shannon Sharpe is heated right now after MoNique came for his neck during her comedy set, and she did not hold back. She straight up clowned him over his $50 million lawsuit with that OnlyFans model, and the internet ate it up like popcorn. The clip exploded online, and insiders say Shannon's been fuming ever since. He thought his celebrity circle would stand tall with him. But nope, folks are either silent or joining in on the roast. Even worse, fans are dragging him, saying MoNique already warned him months ago on Club Shay Shay. She told him plain and simple to quit chasing these young women who only see dollar signs.
He really want a 17-year-old, but he can't. He an 18-year-old, a 20-year-old. So here it is, he at the gym, working out. He's showing up at the gym with them big old black legs.
But he brushed her off like she was joking. Now look, Shannon's public image is spiraling fast. That flashy $100 million podcast deal, on the edge, sponsors, pulling out left and right. Even his so-called inner circle is distancing themselves like he's radioactive. And the wildest part, people are asking, why is Shannon acting bitter toward MoNique now when she actually tried to help him dodge this mess? So what exactly did MoNique say this time that got under his skin? And is Shannon really mad at her or mad at himself for not listening?
One of the two teams that called me on you say, what's your phone number, where you gonna be?
People were shocked when news broke that Shannon Sharpe was getting sued for assault. But guess who wasn't surprised at all? MoNique. She saw it coming way before the headlines did and even tried to warn him. But Shannon clearly wasn't trying to hear it. Now that this legal firestorm with the OnlyFans model is all over the blogs, everyone's been waiting to hear what MoNique had to say. And baby, she did not disappoint. During her stop on Cat Williams' Heaven on Earth comedy tour, she grabbed the mic and let it rip. MoNique reminded the crowd, loud and clear, that she gave Shannon some solid advice, but he acted like she was hating or joking.
This dating thing, because it's Mo, is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
Are you trying to say what you trying to say? Mo?
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I know.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old and get you an old out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Damn.
When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah,
because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's gonna say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's gonna get your energy back up. I'm talking right to you. So he thought I was gonna be scared to yes, I'm talking, and I know an old gal, she'd be good to you. Her name is Elladora. Now, when you know somebody named Elladora, she's old school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Miss Elladora told me to tell you. She said, I think he like red velvet.
Oh, I do.
I say, Miss Elladora, if he do like that, she said, you let him know I got something for him.
Yeah, I like
and she
red
don't
velvet.
have no teeth. Come on, pick your glass up and clack it for me. Come on now. These young gals will bite you.
She basically told the world what most folks are whispering. Shannon did this to himself. And to make things even messier, a clip from February 2024 started going viral again. It's from her appearance on Shannon's own Club Shay Shay show, and MoNique kept it real. She told him straight up, stop running after girls young enough to be your daughter and maybe try dating someone who's actually in your lane.
Yes, I told that Shannon Sharpe, leave that white.
That moment aged like fine wine because now the same warning she dropped back then is playing out in real life. And it's messy. MoNique saw the crash coming before the wheels even fell off. MoNique didn't just tell Shannon to date someone older, she meant someone on his level, a woman who's not chasing clout or trying to finesse him for a check. Now let's keep it real. MoNique's always been one of those take it or leave it personalities. Some folks ride hard for her raw honesty, while others think she's too much, calling her harsh or even self-righteous. But in this situation, even her usual critics are giving her props, because when she spoke on Shannon during that interview, she wasn't throwing shade. She was throwing a warning, and it wasn't subtle. She was talking directly to him. Meanwhile, Shannon just laughed it off, sitting there chuckling like it was a joke, then going right back to chasing girls fresh off the gram, especially the OnlyFans crowd. And now, fast forward to today.
And just one more thing about Mr. Sharpe. Not so sharp, clearly. It is my theory, just my opinion, my theory, not fact, my opinion. I think all of this RACE rhetoric that was in those text messages started with him. It started with him. It's becoming more and more clear to me, in my opinion, that he has a race fetish. He has a fetish for that type of dynamic. Think about it. This was a 19-year-old white woman when he met her. I don't know any 19-year-old white woman that's running around hollering about a big black baby and baby gravy. Shannon was a 54-year-old big black grown man from the backwoods of Georgia. Gravy sound like some he's familiar with. Big black babies, he probably seen a few in his day. Born in the backwoods of Georgia where he grew up with his grandma and all the other folks. But I just don't think that came from her. Now, is she repeating it back in those text messages? Yes, that's why he released her messages, not his. Peep that, okay? We haven't seen what his responses was. And I guarantee you, when they post those messages, y'all gonna see. All of that race started with him. It's a fetish. And he could only play that kind of stuff out with a young girl. He couldn't, like MoNique was trying to tell him, get an older gal. Older gal ain't going for that. They was going immediately knew he was a freak and a weirdo. A 19-year-old don't know no better. That's why she repeated it back to him, because he said it to her first. Older men, that's why they tend to want to be with younger women. They're more impressionable. They can mold them. They can shape them to be what they want them to be. Do what they want them to do. You let him come to a 40 or 50-year-old woman talking about put a big black baby and baby gravy. We gonna be looking like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, that started with him. Mark my words, it's gonna come out. But that race stuff started with Shannon.
He's out of his ESPN job, tangled in a $50 million lawsuit, and looking real messy. That old Club Shay Shay interview is trending again, and fans are calling it a prophecy. MoNique saw the red flags before anyone else even blinked. One fan didn't hold back and wrote, "One thing about MoNique, she can crack jokes, but she don't tell lies." Shannon Baldhead should have listened instead of giggling. Now look at him, crying on his way to court. And another said, Shannon Sharpe brought this on himself. You had MoNique, Cat Williams, and Lil Yachty trying to talk sense into you on your own show. What else did you need? But even with all that fallout, the lawsuit, the ESPN exit, the public dragging, sources say Shannon's still missing the point. He's not reflecting, he's mad. And he's especially heated at MoNique for flipping his downfall into comedy gold on stage. Guess truth hurts more when the whole world's laughing too. Word on the street is Shannon Sharpe is livid that MoNique turned his legal drama into a punchline. And he's not just mad at her. Insiders say Shannon thought his celebrity friends would rally behind him.
This is an absolute true story. I put this on everything. I was having sex with this young lady.
Hold on. Paint the whole picture now. Don't cheat me.
Yeah, don't cheat me either.
Okay.
I want details.
We're having
details.
Sex. We're having
Position?
Yeah.
You know I'm the bad.
Hey. Oh Lord Jesus. She ain't do it, but she don't know she did.
Let's go, bro.
No, she did. That is not. Oh, and what I'm about to say is 1,000%.
Talk to me, baby.
So she passed
Yes,
gas. She said, excuse
Do
me. I said, that's right. Do it. Yes, she passed gas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then she look back and say, excuse me.
No.
Yeah.
How she do it? Time. She said, excuse me. I said, that's all right, baby. I generally make them do it. Hey, she said, excuse me. I said, that's all right, baby. I generally make them. It kept going. I'm with it. I'm hell with it, time. I'm hell with it, time. Come on, baby.
Y'all nasty.
They talk.
Both of y'all nasty, dog.
Hey,
I swear. I
That's,
swear.
no, I know you ain't nasty. That's bad.
fist bump.
No, don't do that. Don't be. Y'all ain't no good. That ain't Shannon. That's not. Don't do that. Y'all nasty.
Defend his name something. But instead, crickets. Nobody showed up for him, and that silence is saying everything. The truth? Folks aren't feeling bad for Shannon, because to a lot of people, this lawsuit ain't some isolated scandal. It's just the final straw in a long list of questionable moves. Let's not forget, Shannon's been trending for the wrong reasons more than a few times, and now even more receipts are surfacing that got people raising eyebrows. One clip that's blowing up online shows Shannon snapping live on air during the April 30th episode of Nique. While chatting about the 2025 NFL Draft, Shannon suddenly turned off camera and yelled, "Shut the F up." The outburst was so random and aggressive, fans were shook, but it doesn't stop there. Shannon also caught heat for something he said about his own daughters. On another episode of Nique, while joking with Ocho Cinco, Shannon claimed he wouldn't spend more than $30,000 on each of their weddings. Then he doubled down, joking that they could serve spaghetti and fried fish instead of anything fancy. Now here's the kicker. This is the same man who allegedly offered $10 million to that OnlyFans model to make the lawsuit disappear. So he's tossing millions at strangers but can't break the bank for his daughter's big day?
You would think that in the aftermath of all of these cases that's going on, that Shannon Sharpe or any black male celebrity for that matter will conduct themselves in a more responsible manner. So what do we know about this situation? According to Gabriella Zuniga, she met Shannon Sharpe at a gym in Los Angeles approximately 2 years ago, 2023. Now, Shannon alleges that he tried to present her with an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, which every celebrity should require from anyone they engage with. Well, guess what, Art? She decides she's not going to sign the NDA. That right there was a warning to Shannon Sharpe that this 19-year-old, who you shouldn't be dating anyway because of her age, because of her race, you need to end this. If she don't want to sign an NDA dating a celebrity, you know what that means. That means if this doesn't go her way, she's going to expose you. Shannon Sharpe should have ended it right there. The problem was she fit his type. Obviously, Uncle Shay Shay, he likes Caucasian women, as we all know, and he likes them very skinny, which I didn't know. And the reason I'm saying that is the pictures that are floating around the internet on Gabrielle Asu Ninjas is the pictures of a very petite Caucasian woman who, not being disrespectful when I say this, appears to be built like a 13, 14, 15-year-old child. And according to her, allegedly, Shannon Sharpe told her that if she would lose enough weight for him, he would buy her some artificial breasts. Now, that's very puzzling to me, Art, because she's already extra skinny, extra petite, no booty, no breasts, no nothing. Why would you want her to lose any more weight? So from that, we can gather that Shannon Sharpe's type is an extra pale, extra skinny Caucasian. He definitely don't like them 5'5" thick in the thighs like Dr. Umar. He don't want butter almond. He don't want butter pecan. He don't want fudge, cinnamon, mahogany. He don't even want African vanilla, African butterscotch, African lemonade. He wants some pale and skinny. I want him brown chocolate and curd.
Fans are calling him out for it all, saying it exposes how reckless and out of touch he really is. The red flags are flying, and people ain't ignoring them anymore. It didn't take long for fans to start ripping Shannon apart after those wild comments, and they're bringing receipts. People are pointing out that Shannon literally admitted in leaked texts that he was paying the OnlyFans model $25,000 per cheek. Yeah, you read that right. One fan went off saying, this needed to happen to show how much of a hypocrite he really is. He's handing millions to a former worker, but his own daughter only gets $30,000 for a wedding? Respect gone. And the internet is agreeing, calling him out for choosing clout-chasing flings over real family priorities. But things are getting even nastier. Fans started digging into those leaked messages between Shannon and the OnlyFans girl, Gabriella, and they were disturbing. In one of the texts, she said she wanted him to put a big black baby in her, and it didn't take long for people to sound the alarm. The vibe? Racially charged and uncomfortable. Even worse, Shannon never dropped his side of the convo, which got fans convinced that he was the one steering the whole thing. They're saying Gabriella was likely just going along with the vibe he set. After all, she's a paid worker. People online are now accusing Shannon of having some type of race play kink.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like...
I don't think you have a choice.
And using Gabriella as a fantasy object. And just when you think it can't get more awkward, more old clips are popping up, showing Shannon acting real weird when it comes to women. Fans are now saying his behavior has been in our faces for years, but no one took it seriously. Until now. It's messy, it's cringe, and it's all coming out. One clip that's making serious waves shows Shannon bragging that he paid for a woman's divorce just because he thought she was the one. Yeah, he dropped major cash on a whole marriage just to get with her. Meanwhile, his own daughter's wedding got to stick to a strict $30,000 budget. The math ain't mathin', and it doesn't stop there. Another viral moment shows Shannon telling some wild bedroom story that was so outrageous it left Deion Sanders sitting there stunned, like eyes wide, mouth shut. You know it's bad when primetime is speechless. Fans in the comments are saying this is exactly why they stopped watching Nightcap with Shannon and Ocho Cinco. Every episode started sounding like a freaky therapy session.
Your ESPN contract,
yes, sir,
is up next year. And the word on the street is that you want something in the range of $100 million for 5 years.
Right.
True?
It ain't false. I always want as much money as I can get. I'm not going to apologize to that. I'm a capitalist. What I would say to you is I would ask respectfully, pay attention to the industry. See what people are getting paid. See how much money they're making and what they're bringing to the table.
And nobody was asking for that, especially from a man pushing 60. Folks were looking for sports takes, not TMI about his bedroom adventures. But now the criticism's coming from everywhere, not just fans. More industry voices are stepping in, saying Shannon should have known better, especially when it comes to that 19-year-old OnlyFans model, Gabriella. One major voice, Dr. Umar Johnson, who didn't hold back. He said even if the lawsuit ends up being a money grab, Shannon had no business messing with someone that young in the first place. And here's the kicker. Dr. Umar pointed out that Gabriella allegedly refused to sign an NDA. That should have been a giant red flag. Instead of backing off,
You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
Shannon dove in head first. At this point, people are asking, is Shannon reckless or just in denial? Either way, the damage is stacking up fast. After everything that's come out about Shannon, fans aren't feeling sorry for him one bit. In fact, most people are saying he's got zero right to be mad at MoNique for turning his mess into a joke, especially since she genuinely tried to put him on game during that Club Shay Shay sit down.
I was once dating this chick, right, Skip, and she was married, but she was getting a divorce. I knew I wanted her. I said, you know what? I'll pay for the divorce because I believe she was the one. That's what I did. I said, why you arguing about this? He wouldn't sign the papers. I said, why you arguing about this little bit of money? I gave her the money, filed the divorce because I believe. I keep it 100 with y'all here, Skip, but I did that.
She didn't come for him out of nowhere. She warned him, told him flat out to watch who he surrounds himself with, especially the young women chasing his wallet. But what did Shannon do? He laughed it off like it was a comedy skit and kept moving wild. Now that everything's blowing up in his face, folks are saying this is just karma catching up. Plain and simple. And judging by the latest tea, those consequences are major. Gabriella's suing for a jaw-dropping $50 million, and people are wondering if Shannon's even got that kind of money. According to recent estimates, his net worth sits around $30 million. He made about $22.5 million during his NFL career, with his biggest check coming from the Baltimore Ravens, $5 million out of a $13.8 million contract. These days, he pulls in roughly $10 million a year through a mix of podcasting, brand sponsorships, media gigs, and even his high-end cognac label, Le Portier. But here's the thing, that might not be enough if this lawsuit doesn't go his way. And to make matters worse, he's still trailing behind his First Take co-host, Stephen A. Smith, whose net worth is sitting pretty at $45 million. Stephen A. just locked in a massive 5-year, $100 million deal, putting him right up there with the top-paid sports personalities just under Tom Brady. So while Shannon's counting coins and dodging legal fire, Stephen A is out here leveling up in real time. One's getting paid, the other's getting sued, and fans are saying that's what happens when you ignore good advice and let ego lead the way. Now here's the craziest part. Shannon was this close to locking down his own $100 million mega deal before everything blew up. That's right, just days before Gabriella filed the lawsuit, Shannon was in final talks to secure a game-changing podcast contract that would have rolled up all his shows under the Shishi Media brand, including Club Shay Shay, Nightcap with Chad Johnson, Club 520 Podcast, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies. According to Front Office Sports, the deal was expected to exceed 9 figures, announced on April 18th.
My daughter's a budget. You got a budget. I don't get whatever you do after that.
What number, I mean, I don't want to be in your business, but what number you said?
30,000.
Okay. So you can have a wedding with 30,000?
I don't know what you can have. I ain't the one getting married. I don't give a damn. Hey, they better go get one of them on Hey, y'all from the South, y'all know about that fried catfish and spaghetti plate. Hey, I know somebody hooked that thing right on up. What they charge by the plate? $10.50 a head. Spaghetti, fried catfish, a piece of cornbread, and a styrofoam cup of sweet tea. That's all you get. Man, I'm not finna go. Hey, just because they oh hell, now man, I wish I might.
But just 3 days later, boom, Shannon's name was splashed all over headlines tied to a $50 million lawsuit, and everything changed. Now that once-in-a-lifetime deal, it's on pause. And insiders say if it falls apart completely, it'll be one of the biggest L's in Shannon's career. That's not even the whole problem, because the lawsuit itself is still hanging over his head like a storm cloud. If he loses, people are wondering if Shannon's even got the financial muscle to handle a $50 million payout. Yes, he's made good money over the years, but not that kind of money. Now, to be fair, Gabriella might not get the full $50.2 million she's asking for, even if the case doesn't go Shannon's way. Civil lawsuits involving these types of allegations are tricky, especially when things get murky around what was consensual versus what wasn't. There's still a chance Shannon walks away without being held liable or owing anything. But let's be real, even if Shannon wins in court and pays nothing, the damage is already done. The court of public opinion moves fast, and it's been brutal. Everyone saw the leaked texts, everyone heard that disturbing audio where Shannon allegedly threatened to choke Gabriella. That clip alone torched what little was left of his clean image. So no matter how the lawsuit plays out, Shannon's brand may never bounce back the same way. Even if Shannon Sharpe walks out of court a free man, let's be real, that doesn't erase what people now know about how he really moves behind closed doors. This whole situation isn't just about legal guilt or innocence anymore, it's about image. And that's where the real damage hits. Companies like Disney, who owns ESPN, don't care if a judge clears your name. What they care about is bad press. They care about your name blowing up online for the wrong reasons.
Shannon Sharpe told her that if she would lose enough weight for him, he would buy her some artificial breasts. Now that's very puzzling to me, Art, because she's already extra skinny.
Right now, Shannon is a walking headline, and not in a good way. In this kind of climate, most brands won't think twice, they'll just pull out. Because to them, he's a liability. Sure, a comeback could happen. Shannon's built a massive following, and audiences do love a solid redemption story. But if that bounce back ever happens, it won't be easy, and it won't be fast. And honestly, he did this to himself. He ignored warnings from real ones like MoNique and Cat Williams, stayed surrounded by the wrong people, and let himself get caught up in a situation he should have seen coming. The problem ain't just the lawsuit or even the age gap with that young OnlyFans model. It's the entire power dynamic, the racially weird undertones, and the lack of accountability. That combo, it's toxic. And companies like Disney don't want that smoke anywhere near their brand. This isn't just one bad decision. It's a pattern. And now Shannon's facing the fallout, not just in court, but in the industry that once boosted his name. So here's the question. Do you think Shannon can really recover from this? Or has his reckless behavior finally caught up to him for good? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about it. So what do you think? Is this just drama that'll blow over, or is Shannon Sharpe's image damaged for good? And when it comes to MoNique, Does Shannon really have a right to be mad at her for cracking jokes? Or is it fair game since she warned him to his face and he chose to ignore it? Let us know what you think in the comments. We're reading everything. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who needs the tea, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss the real story behind the headlines. Catch you in the next one.